He was the golden-haired founder of the greatest rock and roll band in the world, the man who taught Mick Jagger how to play harmonica and gave the band its name. Yet he died a paranoid outcast at age 27, effectively erased from the history of the group he created. The rivalry between the Beatles and the Rolling Stones was largely a media invention. In reality, they were friends. Brian Jones was particularly close to John Lennon and Paul McCartney. He was often in the studio with them and actually contributed to one of their tracks. That is Brian Jones playing the alto saxophone on the Beatles song "You Know My Name, Look Up the Number." McCartney later described Jones's performance as ropey, messy, but perfect for the chaotic feel of the song. The name The Rolling Stones wasn't the result of a long brainstorming session. In 1962, Jones called a jazz club newspaper, Jazz News, to place an ad for a gig. When the journalist asked, "What is the name of your band?" Jones realized he hadn't thought of one. He looked down at the floor, saw a Muddy Waters LP lying face down, and saw the track Rollin' Stone. He blurted it into the phone and the name stuck. Long before Peter Gabriel or Paul Simon popularized world music, Brian Jones traveled to the Rif Mountains in Morocco in 1968 to record the master musicians of Jojuka. He was obsessed with the trance-like quality of their music. He recorded them extensively and processed the tapes in the studio. The resulting album, Brian Jones Presents the Pipes of Pan at Jojuka, was released after his death and is considered a landmark in ethnomusicology and psychedelic music. Jones was one of the first British musicians to recognize the genius of Jimi Hendrix. While others were intimidated by Hendrix, Jones befriended him. In 1967, at the legendary Monterey Pop Festival, Hendrix's breakout performance in the U.S., it was Brian Jones who walked onto the stage to introduce him to the crowd. Jones famously called him the most exciting performer I've ever heard. In the very early days of the band, Brian Jones was the undisputed leader and manager. He booked the gigs, handled the promotions, and negotiated the fees. Because of this administrative role, he secretly paid himself £5 more per week than the other members. When Mick Jagger and Keith Richards found out about this extra payment, it caused the first major rift in the band, marking the beginning of the power shift that would eventually lead to Jones being ousted.